Hi, thank you for joining us today. My name is Matthew Cobb with ProMerit Solutions. At ProMerit Solutions, our number one goal is to help our customers increase their credit scores, thereby helping them elevate their financial possibilities. Our process here at ProMerit is twofold. We educate our customers on positive credit while also working to remove negative and erroneous credit report items through a dispute and investigation process. We always get the question here at ProMerit about the quickest way an individual can increase their score on their own. There are a number of things someone can do to increase their score in just 30 to 60 days. Here's a quick breakdown of 3 of the quickest ways you can increase your score today. The first way to affect your score quickly is for those of you with credit cards. If you have cards in your wallet with balances, you need to be working to pay them down. 30% of your score looks at what is called debt utilization. This area of your credit applies to your revolving trade lines, or your credit cards, and how you've utilized them. One important thing to realize is that all of your open and active revolving trade lines, or your credit cards, are worth an equal amount of points. If you have a maxed out department store with a $300 credit limit, that card is hurting your score as much as a $10,000 bank credit card that's also maxed out. The dollar amounts of the limits really don't matter, just how much you've used those limits. With that being said, let's look at how the utilization of a card affects your actual credit. First, we need to figure out how many credit points each one of your credit cards are worth. I've already mentioned that debt utilization accounts for 30% of your score, and each card is worth an equal amount of points. Your score, usually using most FICO formulas, ranges from a low score of either 300 or 350 to a high score possible of usually around 850. When you subtract 350 from 850, you have a total of about 500 possible credit points that you can attain. 30% of the 500 possible points equals about 150 points available just in the debt utilization area of your credit. That's a ton of credit points. To figure out how many points each one of your credit cards are worth, all you have to do is divide 150 points by the number of open and active cards you have. Here are some examples. If you have one open and active credit card, it's worth all 150 points, 150 divided by 1. If you have 2 open and active credit cards, each one's worth 75 points, 150 divided by 2. If you have 3, each one's worth 50 points. 4 cards, each card is worth about 38 points. Once you've backed into how many points each one of your cards is worth, you can then move on figuring out how many points you're losing by the balances on those cards. Although the mathematical formulas devised by the FICO company for scoring credit are very advanced, the experts at ProMerit Solutions have looked at so many credit reports that we know within a few points how the balance percentages are affecting your scores. Here, in the next slide, is a graph that shows what percentage of the points available per card are being lost as the revolving trade line is being utilized. Some benchmarks that you will notice on this graph include, at 30% utilization, you're losing about 10% of the points available for the card. At 50% utilization, you're losing about 25% of the points available for the card. If the card's maxed out or over the limit, you're losing all of the points available for the card. If you want to be a stickler and you want to have the highest amount of credit points available per card, try to stay within a 7 to 10% utilization of the card's limit. That will help you attain the most possible points available per trade line. It also should be noted that none of this applies to installment loans. Paying down installment loans really doesn't help you at all. And sometimes, if you pay off the loan in full and close it, it actually can have a negative effect on your score. The second way you can increase your score on your own is by establishing some credit. If you don't have any open and active trade lines, you need to get some. One quick and easy way to do this is to get what's called a secured card. A secured credit card is a revolving trade line that a bank offers that's collateralized by your cash. To get one, you need to give a bank a deposit, and then they will send you a card, usually in the amount of the deposit. To be honest, it's kind of a bad deal. Basically, you're giving a bank your money, they're in turn lending it back to you and charging you an interest rate. However, if you do not have any open and active trade lines, you may have a very low or sometimes no score at all. Getting a secured card is simply the only option for many individuals with no or low scores. We've seen scores go from 0 or very low to the mid 600s in just a couple months' time with the issuance of a secured card in your name. It also should be noted that if you're getting your secured card, you should use it responsibly and not use the card over 30% of the limit or have any late payments on the card. The third and most effective way you can increase your score is by getting on the phone today and calling ProMerit Solutions at 1-800-278-3380 for a free credit consultation and credit report analysis. We'll walk you through our complete positive credit analysis while also looking over your report with you to determine what can be done to remove erroneous negative items from your report. As always, go to your lender or to freeannualcredit.com to get a free copy of your credit report before you call. We hope this information has been helpful, and we look forward to talking with you soon.